today's video I experiment with Cinestill 800t. This video wasn't supposed to happen. I originally was experimenting and shooting Cinestill as a test for a project that I'm laying the groundwork for. I think we're all familiar with the stereotypical shots that you get with Cinestill 800, the petrol stations at night, or the train stations, or just neon signs on a busy city street. I wanted to see what I could do in other conditions, as the project I have in mind, the lighting conditions will be set out all through the day, so they offer different challenges. And because you don't see that many Cinestill shots in the daytime, I wasn't really familiar with how it would react. But obviously Cinestill is initially Kodak Vision 500t, which is used for all sorts of different conditions, and it's very, very versatile, obviously for colour grading and other reasons. So I wanted to see if some of those qualities could come through in the more contrasty Cinestill, and to see how brighter, more natural highlights would trigger the halation, and see if it was something usable. So in total I shot 2 rolls. I shot one on 35mm in my Canon A1. This was the first one that I shot, so I wasn't really intended on making a video, so there was no B-roll for these shots, but I can talk you through these shots as we go through them. And the second one was 120 format on my Mamiya m645. This one is a lot more B-roll, so I'll stop talking and let the video run out for those shots. On the 35mm roll, I shot it over the course of a few weeks. I just was carrying my camera around with me, and whenever there was like a scenario where the lighting was interesting, or I could think of a place to go to where would offer different lighting setups, I would take my camera and just take a couple of photos, not really intending to create anything special. After I got those negatives back and scanned them in, and I seen the results, it caught my interest. It really did. So that's when I wanted to see what the 120 would do. So I took that roll and my Mamiya there's a local spot in the woods, not far from where I live, that was set up as a film set, but it was used and then just left there, and it's slowly kind of been dismantled over the course of the past few years, but there's still enough there to explore and take a look at, and it's something I've been meaning to take photos of for quite a while now. And the results of those photos, I can say, they're special. They're a little bit special. They're probably some of my favourite Cinestill shots I've seen. I think the conversion of the grain, how it translates over to a bigger negative, there's a lot more room to manoeuvre. I feel like sometimes, depending on the light with 35mm Cinestill, the grain and its character can sort of overbear and have a massive influence on the outcome of the image. But I feel like the grain's a little bit subtler in the 120 version, but there's that character, but I feel like it captures like a different sort of magic, and the kind of magic it captures is the look of film, I guess, cinema film, how I envision a film to look like when it's been shot on Kodak Vision 3 film. Yeah, I was blown away. I think obviously location and lighting helps, but yeah, I think Cinestill has proved a lot, proved what it's capable of. So I've often called Cinestill like sort of a specialist film. It's got a strong sense of character, so it's not a jack of all trades, but after seeing what I can do on these two roles, I think it's a lot more versatile than the lets on, and I think there's a much bigger scope to shoot Cinestill than just the petrol stations we're all familiar with. I hope you enjoyed these photos as well.